All right, we are live. I do believe. Are we live?
We are live in person.
Are we live? Can anybody see us?
Yep, I hope so. Otherwise, we're just two old jokers sitting here still talking to ourselves.
All right, we're live
No, I can
now.
see us. I can see us.
Hey, everybody, how's it going? Can everybody hear us? Can you see us?
Yeah, it's going. We're
I
saying
see
10
y'all.
4.
Amendment 1, preparedness. Cool. Welcome to the
Hey,
show,
Mr.
guys.
Rainbow.
We're just going to just amble around here for a couple minutes and see if we can get some more people in the chat before we do this, because it's going to be awful hard to repeat this over and over and over again. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Carmen Gizzy, Mark, what's going on, Mark? Ginger Ninja, Spotted Fawn, Amendment 1, preparedness. Emily, what's going on, Emily L? I think I saw that. Yeah. We'll give it a couple minutes before we get started.
Hello, everybody in the chat. I hope y'all are having a good evening. I hope y'all had a wonderful day at work today, too. If any of you worked. Well, some of you did, I know. I didn't do a whole lot, man. This damn cold front's got us all screwed up.
Yeah, it's fixing to blow through here, I think, in the next day or two. Barry Johnson's in the room.
Supposed to get a little colder tonight, and then it's going to get down to like 27 tonight, and another frost, and then after that, it's not supposed to get below about 48, for the next night, and then back up into the low 50s, at nighttime.
Pull my potatoes and my tomatoes inside if it's going to get that cold down here.
Yeah, I pulled my jalapenos inside.
All right, you ready to get started with this?
Yeah, let's do it, bro.
Okay, this is the first time I've done a what we just do scenario in a live stream. I usually just record the videos, but the famous Miss Klingon Princess had a special request. She emailed a scenario type deal to me, but she also requested that Backwoods and Prepping would do it too. She wanted his point of view and my point of view on how to do it. So, special guest, Backwoods and Prepping. He's here. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. So what I'm going to do is read off the entire email, which it's not very long. I'll read it nice and slow where everybody can hear me, and then Backwoods is going to respond to it. And once he's done responding to it, all of his comments, then I'll respond to it. That way we're not talking over each other and getting lost. And then once that's done, we're going to bring the Klingon Princess up here on the panel with us, and then get her intake on what we said. And then we will open this thing up to questions from all you guys in the chat to maybe fill in some blanks that we missed, because nobody knows everything. And we want to be as thorough as we possibly can with this, because this is a really good situation. Okay, here comes the email. Dear sir, and I love this sir, that's crazy. Dear sir, I am wanting input on developing a set of rules or protocols for a mag. I have ideas, but would appreciate your thoughts. Our group includes herself, lots of preps, pew-pews, water, medical, and power. Her brother's family, they have preps, they have skills, and a sailboat. And another close by family, friends of her brother, family and friends of her brother, have property, a sailboat, chickens, and skills. I don't know the other family well, and I can see potential power struggles, interpersonal issues, etc. There are guides for finding a compatible roommate, but I haven't found any template for discussion for mags. Would you consider covering this topic? Thank you for all the wisdom you share. Absolutely, this is going to be a good topic. And I think one of the reasons why she probably chose me and Backwoods to do this is because of our our views on mags and how we're very vocal about how we think about and how we decide who and when to trust somebody. So with that being said, do you have a copy of this email as well that you can look at?
Yes.
Cool.
I've got it pulled up here.
Sweet. All right, well, go ahead and knock it out. The floor is all yours.
All right. Well, the first thing I want to talk about is she's talking about a power struggle. Okay. Well, that right there needs to be addressed immediately, like immediately. Any mag it's just like if you go to, let's say, a job, there has to be, a president, there has to be a vice president of the deal. There has to be supervisors, foremen, there has to be a level of leadership that is super, super important. That is the very first thing that y'all need to address immediately. Like I would call a meeting and find out when y'all can all get together and sit down and discuss the different, let's say this guy has a certain set of skills, this person has a certain this person has a certain that, and see, in another way, in a way you can address this, you've got to have a leader. Okay. You've got to have a main person, okay, to make main decisions. But what you need to do is you can form a committee inside of your mag. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a vote deal, so that one person ain't in total complete power, to where when he says, well, you do this, or she says, you do this, and people are like, I don't know about that, then there's a problem there. So you do a committee and you make a decision that we're going to vote, on situations. You got to have a committee. And once you establish that committee, you establish a leader, you decide on who's got the most calmest and most knowledge on an overall census. Now to keep from having people butt hurt, if that's a good word to use, you can have someone that maybe there's someone in your group that's real good with medical. Okay. That person can be the head of the medical department of your mag. You see where I'm going with this? You got a person that is really good with food type stuff. That person can be the head of your food operations, and so forth. That was the one thing that really stood out to me whenever I seen that is, I could see potential power struggles. That needs to be addressed immediately. You do not want to be addressing this when SHTF happens, okay? Because that's when you need everybody together the most, okay? As far as it goes for the rules and protocols, it's going to have to. There are going to have to be certain disciplines, I guess you can say, that people are going to have to agree on. I said this the other night, and I'm going to say it again. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your dad. I don't care if it's your best buddy that you've been friends with. I don't care who it is. If you get people wanting to put all your preps into one spot, to me, that's a no-go. For me, that's a no-go. Do not go, hey, I'm putting everything, let's put everything over here. No. Have a way to move your stuff. You need to have a location. I'll tell you what, Ghost, before I get too far deep into that, why don't I stop there and let you discuss with what I was talking about with the power struggle part.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll just follow you as you work your way through the thing.
Yes, sir.
We are very, very similar on that belief. In my opinion, when you're doing a mag, it's going to happen one of two ways. If you're forming the mag, if this is your mag that you're building, then you are in charge, period, unless you decide somebody else has more knowledge than you do. If you are joining a mag, then you are not in charge, except that before you walk through the door. If you fit in, if you feel good, then you can kind of work and maneuver and find your spot. But I'm also in agreement about the the way that you run the mag. I would do it personally from how I would personally do it is there would be, when the balloon goes up, then there's one cat in charge of everything. Everything needs to come from the top. There has to be a chain of command or it's all going to fall apart. But that one person can't do everything. So I'm reinforcing what you said. Somebody needs to be in charge of medical. Somebody needs to be in charge of supplies. Somebody needs to be in charge of water. Somebody needs to, you can have 4 or 5 people underneath you, that report to the person in charge. But when the balloon goes up and the lead starts flying, it's all hands on deck, and you listen to the guy, out front. But a lot of people in some of these mags that I've seen and heard about, they have this awesome chain of command set up. They got, all these super high speed plans for planting freedom seeds everywhere, but they have no experience doing it. Number one, they're too lazy to go out in the woods and practice doing this stuff. If you're joining a mag and they don't train, take your shit and go home. Period. That's not a mag. That's a Boy Scout. They're hanging out doing marshmallows over the fire. If you're going to the field and you're going to go train and they're going out there with, luxury RVs and generators and TVs, and they're on their cell phone all day long, pack your shit and go home, because they're going to die. All right. If you're going to go to the field and train for an SHTF situation, you should be, bare minimum, because that's what you're going to have for real. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in combat. And a lot of these mags, I call them Hollywood mags. They just want to look good and ammo, but don't actually go do any training. Back to you.
I agree 100%. The mag that I'm with, we train every other weekend. Sometimes we have to skip a weekend. Things happen, man. It's understandable. People have personal lives. Go ahead.
Well, one thing I forgot to mention, the power struggle thing. If you're feeling it right now, shut it down. Shut it down right now. If you feel like this friend of your brother is a potential alpha that might be bucking up against you and your old man, if you guys are in charge, whoever's in charge, shut it down now. Just flat out, take a drive on a Sunday and have a nice long talk and say, look, you ain't welcome here no more. We can still be friends. You can form your own little mag and we'll work as a neighborhood together maybe. But, or just let them know, hey, you ain't calling the shots, period. If you can't accept that, you got to go somewhere else. And if it hurts feelings, it hurts feelings. But it is what it is, because the last thing you want to do is be in the middle of a bad situation and you guys can't agree whether to turn left or right. There's no such thing as a bad decision. It's bad to not make a decision.
Well, that's a good point, because when you're in a mag, everybody has to understand the chain of command, and you have to be willing to follow that chain of command. Sometimes there might be something that someone says that you don't quite agree with. Now, as long as it's not something that is super dangerous, or whatever, I think we should have went over here to this place, for shelter, but you want them to go to this place. That's not worth arguing over.
Right.
You've got to learn to, because that person may actually know something about the area that you're thinking that we should have went to, and maybe he knows something and he ain't got time to sit there and explain, or she, because I'm not opposed to if a female has a control deal. I'm just using he because I'm just used to doing that. But maybe that person has intel and they're saying, hey, we need to get over here right now. We don't need to be standing around for 30 minutes, 45 minutes arguing over which way we should go, because again, this person shouldn't have to explain, well, look, all right, look, I got some intel earlier, from the other mag group, man. There's some people that's kind of been hanging around over in that area that may be hostile. We're not sure about them yet. We don't need to be over there. We don't need to be standing there discussing that. We need to say, hey, this is the area, because more than likely they know the area. They know it's safe. Bam, we need to go over there. We need to set up our structure. We need to get ready for the night. because each moment that you're standing around discussing this stuff and arguing is less time you got to set your structures up, to get your fire going, to get your food going, and to get your security going.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons too why when people do mags, I am wholeheartedly a big fan of structuring your mag just like a military unit. There's a reason why a company has 4 platoons, and there's a reason why those 4 platoons each have 4 squads, and each one of those squads has 2 fire teams. You got 2 fire team leaders that report to their squad leader about every issue in their squad. Then your squad leaders report to their platoon sergeant, and the platoon sergeant reports to the company commander. So instead of every single person in your mag running up to whoever's in charge, spitting out their ideas, they run it up the pipe. They run it up to the chain of command. Then if it makes it to the number 2 guy and he feels that it's valid and it's warranted, then you bother the guy that's trying to make all the decisions. You don't want to be coming at him from 15 different angles. It's just too confusing. You'd never get anything done. You would never get anything done.
Absolutely. And that's the main thing. That was the one thing that really stood out about that email. The first right off the bat was the chain of command, the power struggle deal. That has to be addressed.
Yeah.
If someone can't agree, to understand that, well, this guy does have more training, for instance, like if I lived over there where Ghost lives, all right, or Ghost lived by me, I'm gonna be flat honest with you. I'm gonna be looking at Ghost as more of a leader type role because he's had the military training. He's done this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the woods all my life, so I've got good skills, of being in the woods and camping out and building fires and, so I've got the skills, but I've never been in that military role to where, and that's why we're training. I'm learning a lot of stuff. That's why this coming weekend, Saturday, I'm gonna be out there camping out. It was supposed to rain. We were still gonna camp out.
Oh yeah.
They were like, man, it's supposed to rain, pretty good. And it's like, oh, well, if it ain't raining, we ain't training.
There you go.
And
I don't even look at the weather. If it's time to go to the woods, it's time to go to the woods. I don't care if temperature drops, goes up, rain, snows, sleet. It is what it is.
Well, somebody had mentioned it on our little group page, and I was like, I'm like, it's not. It doesn't matter to me. We're going out there. We're going. I mean, because if you got a bug out or SHTF, I mean, it may be raining. It's just the way it is. You got to learn how to do your stuff in the weather. You need
to want to do your stuff in the weather, because that person that left that chat, there's also people in whoever your quote unquote enemy may be. If it's harsh weather, they're going to be 9 times out of 10, they're going to be laying low and trying to stay dry. That's when you make your move. That's when you get stuff done. When nobody else wants to be out there doing it, that's when you can make progress.
Absolutely. And seeing this where it falls into what I was talking about a minute ago, about me having the woods skills. I've killed as many deer when it's raining as I have when it's not, because hell, there's nobody out there. The deer can't hear you, they can't smell you. And seeing that passes on to humans, because, here's the thing about it. You can build a campfire and they can't, and cook for a couple of days, but, during the rain, because the smell is going to be tampered down by the rain, and these are the things that you need to practice on how to do while it's raining, because I'm going to tell you right now, and I know Prepping Plumber is in here, Miss Prepping Plumber, and I know they're like me. They love some bacon.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if you can't smell no bacon cooking for 2 or 3 blocks away, just in a neighborhood, now imagine out in the woods, you can smell that shit for a mile away, man.
Oh, yeah. It carries.
Yeah. So you need to be practicing this stuff in the rain and use that to your advantage and say, hey, look, here's what I'm going to do. We've got this salted food or whatever. We got this. I'm going to go ahead and cook, a couple of days of this food up because it'll keep for a couple of days. I'm gonna go ahead and cook this stuff up while it's raining. It's going to keep all the smell, all the smoke tamped down. Then you've got food for a couple of days and you ain't got to worry about it for a couple of days.
Yep. That's very true. Getting back to her email, the rules and the protocols I think are very important, and they're gonna change depending on the structure of your chain of command, your location, the time of year, like the rules and protocols now to just be in the mag are going to be completely different. Or they're going to be kicked up a notch when the balloon goes up. Then things are going to be really, really serious. Now, obviously, rules and protocols are very, very important. But then that's going to be something that's going to be fluid. Your rules and protocols are going to change depending on the situation that you're put in. One thing I do like is you've got a wide variety of preps with your water, your power, your medical, your seeds, a couple of boats, chickens, skills, property. I mean, so you're looking. I mean, you've got one hellacious foundation for a mag. I mean,
yes,
one hellacious foundation for a mag. But like the only issue I see is what she brought up. That she can already see the potential for a power struggle. Shut that shit down. I mean, squash it.
yes.
Fast and in a hurry. And when you have a talk with this person, if they go, okay, you're right, you'll be in charge, I'm gonna listen, and you still don't believe them, kick them to the curb. Tell them to kick rocks. They got to go. It is what it is. Have them. You can even, if it's gonna be bad or they're gonna have hard feelings about it, instead of saying you're kicking them out of the group, say, hey, look, you know what? Instead of us having one mag and trying to consolidate all of our efforts and this, that, and the other, why don't you spin up a satellite mag over here? You take control of that one. I'll run this one, and we'll meet in the middle and work shit out. That way, nobody's feelings get hurt. You're still increasing your numbers, and you still have access to all their prep supplies and property. That's probably the route I would go. Give them a little bit. You know what? I'll call a spade a spade. After the balloon goes up, he might be the son of a bitch that you want to be in charge. So, when I'm saying shut it down, I'm not saying burn a bridge. I'm saying establish that chain of command. And 3 days after the balloon goes up, he might be the dude that you want to be like, hey man, you know what? We should listen to this cat, but we pissed him off and burned the bridge. So I would say maybe explore the whole having a satellite mag, having him run a satellite mag, give him a cool title, whatever, and just be able to keep them close enough to where you can use them, but far enough away to where they can't be a detriment to what you've got going on at home.
Well, yeah, like I was thinking, obviously the best thing to do to start out with is to, start out with talking, sitting down, everybody, best idea here, right here, okay, that I can think of. Have a barbecue. Have a freaking barbecue, go get some hamburger meat and some hot dogs. You ain't got to go buy the expensive stuff. Just buy the cheapest stuff, throw some seasoning on it, some chips, a couple of salads, whatever, and invite everybody over and sit down. And before you have this barbecue, sit down and write down your concerns and take time to write this stuff down and think about the questions and how you want to word them so that they don't sound rude, like you're not being like, well, I think that, this person should be in charge, and I think you're going to be, bowing up and stuff all the time. Don't do it like that. Obviously be nice about it and sit down and have a barbecue and have it wrote out and bring that piece of paper out, because I'm going to tell you something that shows a sign of thought that you sit down and you well thought this out when you bring out this piece of paper and you go, okay, I wanted to bring this up, and start kind of reading off that paper, and here's how I wanted to address this. And it shows, it automatically shows a sign of respect because you have put a lot of thought into it and you're being respectful about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. There's going to be issues. There's going to be emotions running high after the balloon goes up. I mean,
yes,
you're going to, not only do you got to worry about security for the people in your mag, you've got to worry about their mental Certain people can handle stress a whole lot better than other people. Some people can't handle stress at all. Some people can't function without Facebook and TikTok and Twitter and all that stuff. This is gonna, I mean, when the world falls apart and all you got is the people in your mag and your group, then things become real personal real quick. That's why I'm a big fan of family, obviously. And if they're going to be strangers, people that you don't know, but for some reason you decide to trust them and bring them in, say they've got a whole lot of stuff that really complements the stuff you got, get your ass in the truck, get out in the woods, do some training, see if you guys can get along. Because, you got to function as one.
Right. Well, and that's the whole thing is that is, I mean, to me, mag wise, that is the most important aspect of it, is that chain of command and the people agreeing and being, and understanding that this has to be, it has to be, there has to be a chain of command, and hey, maybe the guy that's in command, like he was talking about, maybe the guy that's in command now, when the SHTF happens, the balloon goes up, as Ghost would say, maybe he flips out and just becomes a total idiot, and that's why you've got a chain of command, because now you've got a second in charge that can step up, and everybody agree to it, and hey, whoa, dude, you're flipping out, so that's why it's really important, and you've got to have a set of rules, and a set of rules, and like what do they call that, Ghost? Like
Protocols.
Like
protocol.
Yeah. SOP. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So you've got to have that, and if you don't, I mean, if nobody's trying to do that now, it's a bad mistake. It really is a bad mistake, because when shift happens, you're going to be, everybody's going to be, at an elevated level. Everybody's going to be, trying to get to a spot or whatever it is, or, and everybody's like, oh man, this is really happening, and you've got to have them standard operating procedures that you can go to and go, okay, guys, you've got to have that leader that says, okay, guys, hey, everybody calm down. Here's our rules. Everybody has a set of these, and let's clear our heads, and let's get to business.
Yeah, here's a perfect example of that. You could have whoever's in charge of your mag right now might be the most organized person you have ever met in your life, and all your ducks are in a row. You're having your meetings, you're going out and you're training, and everything just clicks, and it's awesome. But when the balloon does go up, he may completely unglued and be useless. Perfect example, when I was in the military, I swear to you people, I'm not making this stuff up. My first sergeant, after I got another Article 15, me flat out, he said, Martin, I swear to God, I'm going to lock you in the garage at the motor pool, and the only time that I'm going to let you out is when we go to the field. He said, because that's the only time I ain't got to worry about what you're doing. And I'm like, sounds good to me, because all I do is get in trouble when I ain't in the woods. But and that's the thing, I wasn't the squad leader at the time, but when we hit the field, when we're in the woods, I knew what to do. I knew what was going on. I knew the protocols. That was my element. Being back in garrison and going out and drinking and partying with the boys and trying not to get in trouble, I can't do that. That just doesn't work for me. I'd rather be in the woods. So it's a weird situation. Like I said, just because your guy is super, super organized and he's awesome, and I'm talking about even if he's blood related, when a lot of people, when they see serious devastation or blood or massive traumatic accident or injury, they lose. System completely shuts down. Their brain shuts their system down to where they just can't function. Now they can come out of it, and that's getting their cherry popped. It may change 2 or 3 weeks down the road when you get used to it, but initially be prepared for some changes. No plan ever survives first contact.
Right. Well, and The thing that everybody's got to understand, with this mag is that you can't wear your feelings on your sleeve, because it's your brother, because it's your best friend, you can't just, you can't side with them just because of that.
Right.
You have to have a mindset. This is why on at the end of my videos I've started saying, that when you prepare your mind properly, all else will fall into place. And you've got to prepare your mind for this situation, and you've got to prepare that I can't, just because he's my best friend, if he's wrong, he's wrong. If he's not as good as this guy over here, he's just not as good as this guy over here, So, you can't go into it with the idea, well, my brother, has been prepping and got this cool stuff, and he wants to be the leader. Well, your brother may not have the skills to be a true leader, because you're not talking about, like he said a minute ago, this is not Boy Scout 101 where we're down here at the lake on the weekend, with everything's cool, and we're roasting a couple of hot dogs, and drinking a couple of beers. This is an SHTF situation, This shit hits the fan, this is serious. So you have to understand where, the person that has the most skills and the most level-headed and has the right ideas, you can't wear your feelings on your sleeve. Don't focus on, well, my brother or my sister or my uncle or my best friend, he's wanting to do this, You have to determine, where the skills are, where the skill levels are.
Very, very important. And also, when you're setting up your mag, you have to have priorities in place. I mean, is your situation where you're bunkering in, where the function of your mag is basically going to be defense, and stealth, and just laying low while everybody else is thinning out the herd, or are you guys going to be on the road bugging out? I mean, how secure is your bug out location? Either way, it doesn't matter what direction you go in. Eventually, you're going to have to turn and fight. Eventually, you got to bunker in somewhere, whether it's a fortified home or a cave in the woods or a tent. Eventually, you're going to have to stand your ground. So, how fluid is your mag? Can you guys go from a defensive position to an offensive position? Do you know how to shoot, move, and communicate? I mean, do you know what the avenues of likely approach are up on your area? Do you know how to set up an ambush? Do you know how to want to avoid an ambush? These are all things that you got to consider if you're going to be moving if you're taking any kind of element and moving anywhere, and that's where military experience comes in handy, because that kind of stuff kind of gets beamed into our head, but if you're just staying at your house and you got it fortified and you're good to go, then maybe that stuff's not that important to you. But home defense should be, and then a lot of those tactics come into play.
Well, I'll just tell you, because everybody, some people watched it. I'll just put it that way. I don't know who all's here and watched it versus, but the training exercises and stuff that me and tactical technician are doing. Tactical technician actually has the combat experience. He was in the military, and he is actually my upper, if you know what I mean. I follow his lead. Now, don't get me wrong. If there's something I think of that, hey, what if we did this or whatever, I'll ask him about it and question him on it. Don't be scared to question,
Yeah, definitely.
because if you don't fully understand and you don't question, you're doing a detriment to your team, to your mag, because if you just go, well, I'll just follow his lead, I'm not sure why we're doing this. Well, you need to be sure why you're doing this.
You need to question it in training. Do not get into an argument with the guy on your left in the middle of a firefight. You do all the questioning while you're training. You get those bugs worked out. Get the kinks worked out ahead of time.
Yes, and that's why you train. If your group is not training together, That's a bad situation.
Yeah, that's not going to work. You're dead. I hate to put it bluntly, but yeah, you're dead. You might as well. If you're in a mag and you guys aren't training regularly, and by regularly, I mean at minimum every 2 weeks, I'm talking an overnight 24, 48-hour period. If you're not training a minimum of at least once every 2 weeks and you guys aren't communicating, during those 2 weeks when you're not training, then you don't have, right, you just got some buddies that you go camping with. And I mean, it's just not going to work. So don't even waste your time doing it. It's just stupid.
Well, our last training we went on, for instance, the last training we did, where we did the 2-man carry and all that stuff. Look, was it perfect? Did we do it completely right? I don't know. But it's at least we're working on it. We're training. We're trying, and that's the whole point of it. Is that what is it?
He was just wanting to know if you could read what he wrote, and I think it went by already. We'll do questions here in a minute, Cherokee.
So the thing about it is that we when you train with somebody, see, like the first thing we did was when we got there, the guy that was hosting the training, at his property, he had a nice a Dutch oven over a fire, had some stew in it. Man, we sat down, we had a bowl of stew together, we talked, we sat there and shot the BS. These are very, very important things to do with your mag, because you get to know each other, just a normal little chit chat, and asking each other about your job, or what, and just talking about how this went or what happened. You can learn a lot from people, because you get a guy, for instance, let's just say he's like, man, I had a freaking flat tire, man, and my spare was flat, and man, I freaked out, man, because god dang, my wife was griping at me, and I freaking flipped the lid, and I kicked the side of the truck in. That guy don't need to be in your mag.
Yeah. Another thing I suggest to do, and a lot of people may think it's stupid, but I've done it several times in my life in different career paths that I was in at the time, is get drunk with them. Go out sometime to a bar in the backyard, sit around a campfire, and just get wasted. Make sure they get more wasted than you do, and then just listen. Because a drunk person, that's when all the good stuff comes out. That's when all the dirty little secrets come out. That's when you can find out who somebody really is. Get them drunk. Get them drunk and have a chat. Get them drunk and then start talking about life experience issues, prepping, things like that. That's when you'll get the honest opinion from that person. Get them drunk, see what happens. What do you think? You want to bring Klingon on up in here? You think we covered it good enough?
Absolutely, sure.
I think we covered everything in the email. Hey, Klingon, I'm putting a link out here for you. This is just for Klingon, guys. We're going to bring her up here on the panel and get her input on what we said, and then go from there. And if Backwoods wants to hang out a little bit longer, I'll open the panel up for other people to hop up in here.
I'm good for the night, brother. However long you want to go. I'm a marathon streamer, bro.
Same here.
I can handle it, man.
In a 24-hour period, I was on somebody's live for 17 and a half hours out of a 24-hour period. One live to the next.
I've been on them like that too.
Where you at, Klingon? I don't see her in the chat. Has anybody heard from Klingon? Did she clock out and leave? Oh, there we go. There she is.
Oh.
And let's get this right. Boom. Let's do this. Unmute. Let's do. No, I do not like that.
No, there's one where. There you go. That one right there.
There we are. Howdy. Welcome.
She's muted. She's muted.
I didn't do it. Unmute.
There it is.
I did it.
Okay,
Okay.
we got you now. We can hear you.
So what do you think? Did we answer your question to your satisfaction?
You guys,
Huh?
lots of food for thought. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. That was a good scenario. That's a very, very important scenario.
Yes,
People
it
should be
is.
made aware of.
Go
Did
ahead.
you have any other questions?
What's the best way that I can talk? I'm hearing a delay in my headphones.
Mute YouTube.
Um,
Are you still getting a delay from us, or is that a delay on your side?
um,
Because I'm reading you loud and clear.
Yeah, me too.
okay, maybe that's better.
Sounds good to me.
Awesome. Okay. Um, yeah, thank you guys so much. My interesting information all around. My brother and his friend and their wives are all. We live in Humboldt County, right? They live in the most liberal city that we have, and they're all. They all have their master's degrees. They work in professional positions. Um, my brother and his wife both have their degrees in botany, but he's works for the city in planning, so he has lots of those skills. But I don't know anybody else around here that I would join up with, but I would never be able to leave my brother's family, and he's so close with the other family that that would be the natural join. Otherwise, I'd be alone. So yeah, really interesting information. They are not into barbecues unless it's tofu, right?
Oh,
Um, and they are not.
I'd kick them out of the group based on just that.
Well,
well,
that would be the group.
no, but I've actually got a question about that. Because this is something that I've never thought about or heard about. Um, can you? I mean, does tofu store long term, or I mean, how do you? Can
I
you
would
make?
imagine you could. Well, you can make it from scratch, but I would imagine you could freeze dry it or dehydrate it as well. Maybe can it.
I don't even know what it is.
I don't either. I'm just asking, because I don't know what it is. Yeah, go ahead.
It's
Explain
a
that.
soybean product, soybean curd. So basically, that you mash the soybeans and you treat it with the additives that turn it into tofu, cake, like a
Somebody had to be really bored to invent that.
somebody in Japan a long
Yeah,
time ago.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, my reflections. My brother, he bought a pew pew recently. He got real concerned with the things that were happening the past year or so, and even though being super liberal, he very much wants to protect his family, his two children, and his wife, and so he wants to go start practicing with that. So this is just a sort of nascent idea for to join together because I thought I would be the only person. I had no idea my brother would ever buy the tool that he bought, and but I think that he's starting to realize that liberal, conservative, it doesn't matter. What matters is being prepared. You know, so
Yeah,
um,
Yeah. So
go ahead.
go ahead, go.
Let's say when the shit hits the fan, there's not going to be any such thing as liberals and conservatives anymore. There's just going to be
right.
you know,
Um, yeah, I think they think of it, it'll be more like a hippie commune. They'll all want to be on one level and everyone, So I really appreciated the hierarchy advice that you guys gave. It made a lot of sense. And
yeah. I mean, if they're going to go the hippie commune route, Wow. Yeah. Let me know how that turns out. I don't see that doing anything.
I'll send a carrier pigeon after.
Yeah. Yeah. Send a raven.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be north of
I
the
mean,
wall.
you have to, when you have a mag, you have to have the set of rules and everything, and you have to have them all the way down to discipline. For doing certain things. I mean, it has to be a societal type rule system. You can't. I mean, just winging it off the cuff, and just, there is absolutely, if you try to do the hippie type commune that you're talking about, you're never going to have stability, and you're just going to jeopardize yourself and everybody else.
Yeah, it's going to be, especially if it's an invasion type thing, some kind of a takeover governmental wise, and there's paramilitary forces on the street, and you got roving gangs, and that hippie commune is going to be like the first target, like a legit target rich environment. I would not want to be anywhere near that neighborhood.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so let me ask a question. So your brother has never owned a firearm?
No, not until about a month ago.
Okay.
I'll bring you on here in a second, Prepper Stating. We're finishing up with Klingon.
He needs to seek professional guidance, because owning a firearm is so much more than just, well, I'm gonna go down here and buy a firearm, and I'm gonna buy some bullets, and I'm gonna be able to protect my family. There is so much more to it than that. I watched a guy that when we went to a qualifying course, this guy shot 10 shots at a big square silhouette, and then it had the silhouette of a human, a full-size silhouette on it. He hit the silhouette one time down low, down kind of at the side, and he could not even hit the silhouette any other time. And that's like at 15 feet, 12 feet, something like that. Yeah. So
owning a gun is your right. It's also what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of people say it's a privilege, but it's not. They forget that it's
a responsibility.
Yeah, it's. I'll just say it like this without trying to sound too over cocky or confident, or I don't know the right word for it. You take someone that so everybody can have a lucky shot, but you take someone that's skilled with a weapon, that's been training with a weapon, and someone that just picks one up and is just like, well, I can fire some rounds downrange. Yeah, it's probably not going to turn out well for the one that's not been training with it. More than likely. Like I said,
I can legally go out tomorrow. I can legally go out tomorrow, and it's my right. If I want to, I can buy an airplane. I can't fly that motherfucker. You know what I mean? I can go buy an airplane tomorrow, but I don't know how to fly it. I can sit behind the seat and wear the hat. I could probably get it off the ground. I can get it up in the air. That'd be the extent of my knowledge as far as flying a plane. Now, with some training, I could do
that. Well, thank you, Paul.
Well, I wanted to say as well that the reason I said to suggest to your brother that he gets a more professional guidance and training. And the reason I say this is because in an SHTF situation, okay, things may be happening a lot when you have to use that weapon. See, some of the training I've been getting is like actually going and shooting while a guy's blowing an air horn at me, just constantly burn, 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 and another guy slapping the side of the gun, and it's just all that distraction. And then you got other guys beside you who are shooting and getting the same things done to them. So you got all this gunfire, you got air horns blowing, you got people slapping at your gun, with a stick. And, it was the first time that I started down that range and all this stuff was going on. And I was just like, boom, boom, man. I'm just like looking, and I'm not even hitting the target, and I'm just like, what the crap is going on? And the air horn's blowing and I'm just like, dadgum, and it is an eye-opening experience to get yourself more close to a combative situation, because you also have to understand that you at least get that portion of the training, but you also have to understand that there's going to be bullets coming at you as well. So there's going to be things slapping around you and you're going to hear that whiz coming by you, that it's a very distinct, I've been shot at before and I had a bullet pass by me close enough that I heard that it's a very distinct zoom sound. It's like a zing or zoom, it's real distinct sounding, and there's no mistake about it. And it's an eye opener when that happens, because you think to yourself, man, the way that thing come through there, if that would have hit me. And I would suggest also that it sounds like that they have a little bit of funding, little funds. I would suggest buying airsoft rifles or paintball, one of the two. It's something that you can actually shoot at each other with, because it just shoots the little plastic BBs or paintballs. And join an airsoft or a paintball course, because you can get some real cool training that way. Because, man, you got people, and we started doing this, and like I was running across to try to get behind this cover and I got hit in the knee, and I had to go down, you know what I'm saying? And because if you're honest with yourself, you should go down and so your other guys can train on how to get you out of that situation, because you got that other guy over there, he's still firing, and when I got hit in the knee, man, it really made me think. I thought, gosh dang, if that would have been a real bullet, my knee would be gone, it would just tear my knee to pieces, and I might be out of the fight now from now on, maybe I could heal up later, maybe somebody could fix me, but the point is it makes you aware of your body parts and getting yourself behind cover, more, and it makes you well aware. Go ahead, Ghost.
Here's a good one for you, and I actually did this before. Actually, it was the second time I went to play paintball. The first time I went, and everybody's all armored up with their super thick coats, layers of pants, and they're shooting paintballs at each other. But it was a game, and this was back from Iraq, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going home. And I was talking to the guys; those guys didn't have fun. I'm like, no. He goes, why? I said, because y'all weren't taking it serious, man. You're out there playing a game. I said, you want to do it and actually get some knowledge from it? They go, yeah. I said, fine. Play next weekend. All you can wear is shorts and a t-shirt, knee pads and elbow pads on, and we're playing paintball. Then it's for real, because it hurts like shit. So you take it serious. And we had a really good game of paintball. They weren't getting shot 50 and 60 times and pretending they didn't get. They got hit once, and they got hit. And they took it serious after that. Take it. Playing video games online, Call of Duty, and all that stuff. And I know all these cool. Go get shot for real. Get hit with real in your stomach with nothing on but a t-shirt. And you're going to think a whole lot different about how you play. Then it becomes real.
Yep. And that's something your mag group should be doing, you know. I got a really nice airsoft rifle. A couple of the magazines hold like 300 rounds. I got a backup battery for it. The 9.6 bolt is the better one. It came with a battery, and then I bought a backup battery, and I bought an extra magazine so that I could practice magazine changes, because that's very important. And I got all that stuff, carrying case, like, I don't know, I've got several thousand rounds, you know, them little BBs, them little plastic BBs, and I think I paid like $230 for everything, shipping and handling and everything. So, you know, and it'll fire. Go ahead.
I'm good. I just coughed.
Oh, so it'll fire semi-automatic or full automatic. So, you know, you can actually get someone over there that has full auto, and your team can only do semi-automatic, so that you simulate what someone firing a full auto rifle at you, you know, and they're just, you know, and you're running, you know, and trying to get behind cover. And man, you can hear them BBs hitting, and you can hear them BBs hitting, and it's an eye opener, and it is some very, very good training.
Did we do a good job answering your question?
You guys did awesome.
I'm glad you liked it. And for anybody in the chat, just anybody in the chat, I think my mod Emily will put to email any kind of questions you have, any kind of scenario ideas, and we'll do this again. If we get enough feedback, maybe I can talk Backwoods into maybe doing a basis with me.
Oh yeah, I'm good with it, man. We're training, and we're going training this weekend. We're all going camping, and you know, we're camping out together. We're gonna do a night ops training. We're gonna have a security detail. We're gonna use our bug out bags. That's what we're gonna use. And I'm gonna make several videos on it, and I'm gonna use everything in my bug out. That's it. You know, what's in my bug out bag is what I'm using. And you know, we're gonna see what happens. We're going down about 300 yards from the house, so we're gonna be down in the woods about 300 yards, you know, on this property, and we ain't gonna have extension cords and all that stuff. You know, what we got is what we got.
Mm-hmm.
And it may or may not rain.
What do y'all think? Prepper Steading's out here chewing his fingernails.
Oh, forget Prepper Steading. No,
he's been waiting like a half hour.
Do you have any other questions, though, Klingon?
No.
Did you okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
No problem. Anytime.
Right.
Anytime you got our emails, just hit us up.
Live long and prosper, guys.
Live long and prosper.
No, you know, Dorf's coming to Star Trek, right? Did you see that? Michael
What was that?
Michael Dorn. He's coming back to Star Trek.
Oh, guest to Picard, huh? Or to Discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That'll be good stuff. All right, we'll see you
bye,
later.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's going to get loud now.
Oh, damn, really?
What's up, brother?
How's it going, brother? Ain't seen you in a long time.
It's going, man.
You don't
Yeah,
call
man,
me no more.
it's going.
I don't feel like you love me no more.
I never called you the first time. I don't use the phone. You guys do. You called me, remember?
Yeah. I have to call and harass you again sometime then. Backwoods, how's it going, brother?
What's up, brother?
Oh, then you'll just act like everybody else I know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I see certain people call, I just hit that shady button, you know.
Yeah.
And act like I ain't around the phone.
Yeah.
I got that app on my I got that app on my phone. You know how most people, when your phone rings, it'll say likely scam. You know, mine says, mine says this might be bullshit, and you just swipe to the left and it goes away.
That's funny. I need to get this shit from my phone. So how y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Just had our first live episode of What Would Ghosts Do for Klingon Princess.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Her brother's gonna get his. I guess he's getting his first firearm.
Yeah, or he's already got it. Hey, Princess,
okay.
Princess, if you're still in the chat, I think you may have not hit the red X button because it's on the bottom it shows you, but it ain't a big deal.
Unless she's in the background.
Oh, there she's gone. She dropped it.
Okay.
Cherokee
Yeah.
Survival. Cherokee Survival wants to know how I would stop a M60A2 tank. Well, Cherokee, I'm gonna say if we got M60 Abrams running around the streets, I'm gonna say we're probably in some deep shit. And there's probably gonna be some weapons that are going to be confiscated due to getting overtaken, and I will do the best I can. I don't know, I'm not a military guy, so
Well, for one, the M60 was a 308 belt-fed machine gun, or
He's talking
7.62
about
NATO. The M80 was a tank back in the day, and the Abrams is the M1 Abrams A2.
okay. Well,
well, for any of that, the only way you're going to stop a tank is either with an Apache or an A10 Thunderbolt. So
Actually, not really. The M80.
I ain't fucking with a tank.
Well, the M80, I mean, well, for one, you'd have to be able to get close enough. You could either take it out by blowing a track, or if you can get to the back of it without getting killed. Now, keep in mind that is a big if. If you could get some explosives onto that back intake section, you could take out the motor and basically leave them stuck like what?
Freaking Prepper 101.
That's actually what my dad did in the military, was maintenance, recovery, mechanic on the Deuce and a Half, 5 tons, the Jeeps, the Bradleys, the APCs, and the I think he was right when the M80s and the Abrams M1 were coming in, when they were transitioning away from the M80s and bringing in that Abrams.
Gardner Josh, if you have had a really bad experience in a group, how would you go about joining another one? Gardner Josh, I wouldn't. If you had a bad experience in a group, start your own fucking group. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Joiner.
Or depending on what kind of bad experience you got, because this actually happened to me. I was in another group.
We don't want to hear about your OnlyFans group.
So anyway, I was in another group, and here's what went on. We had some bad stuff happen. The leadership, they wanted to be a lot about themselves. So I had a really bad experience. I was told I was going to get to go to this special training. I actually drove 2.5 hours in the morning to go to this qualifying, showed up, qualified, and then all of a sudden they decided that, well, they had a couple of buddies, let's just put it that way, that ended up saying they could go, who didn't go to the qualifying, by the way. And they booted me out to let their buddies go to this training. So it's a pretty bad experience, considering I went and spent some money to get, because we were going to do hand-to-hand combat. Like it's at a, like it was $1,700 a piece for us to go, and the group was paying for it, so it was going to be free of charge to me. I just had to go qualify. So they wanted us to have no buttons or anything like that on our clothing, you know, so sweatpants type stuff. And I didn't have very much of that, so I went and bought a bunch of new stuff, you know, to go to this training, to go to this special training. Like I said, they had a couple of buddies that all of a sudden they could go, and they moved me and a couple of other guys out and let their buddies go. So of course I was like, man, piss on this. I don't play that game, you know. And
that's horse.
see, the thing about it is when you have people that act like that, they do that to other people too. And the mag that I'm in now consists of several people that got done shady from this other group. And we have started another group, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a bad experience with a mag because I've never. I mean, it's just my mag, my family, my blood. But I'm not much of a joiner, simply because it comes to a lot of the topics that we've been talking about all night long here in the show is the power struggle. Who is the alpha? Are you in charge just because you started the mag? Are you that kind of guy, even though you know you're a fucking idiot? Or I mean, if you're smart and you know you don't have the skills, you can still start a mag, but you find somebody to run it for you. It's like me. I'm almost 52 years old, so I mean, it won't be too long. You know, if it takes another 4 or 5 years for this thing to pop off, I'm still going to run it, but I'm not going to be the point man out there doing all the stuff that I would have been doing when I was 25 years old. I can still be in charge. You can't take my knowledge, but you know, I can't go out and run or hump, 40 miles nonstop like I used to.
Maybe with a walker.
I know, right?
Shit, I'm only 47, and I tell you now, I couldn't do that shit that I did when I was 25 anymore. Especially not after 7 years driving a damn truck.
I mean, I can still shoot, move, and communicate. Don't put me in a wheelchair yet, but that's not a big issue.
Oh, I can still do that, but if you think I'm gonna pump 40 miles with a pack and everything else, put me in a wheelchair.
Josh.
You put me in a wheelchair and push me down to the damn battlefield, and I'll be there. But if I got to walk 40 miles, shit.
Gardner Josh, the one I joined, went full on military rule to the point they asked if I had to choose between them and family and other shit, I bailed. I mean,
no shit. Don't. Rule number 1: don't ever ask me if I got to choose between your mag or my family.
Here's the thing, Josh. If that's a mag that you're in, your family's part of that mag too. That's a given.
That's right.
If it's an actual mag, that's a given. Your family's part of the group as well. Now, whether they have a voice or whether they just do what they're told, point, you should never have to choose.
Yeah, if there's any question whatsoever, that is a huge red flag, and time to bail.
Amen to that.
Another point Backwoods made earlier tonight was the way when you're setting up your mags that you get the hell away from a mag if they want you to locate all your preps and supplies in a central location. Look, here's the deal. Your preps are your preps. If you want to share them, fine, share them. But if you're in a quality mag, then you should have somebody, call them a resource officer or a supply officer. And if my job's tactical and say Backwoods is doing intel and prepper steading, say you're on the supplies and acquisitions, and I'm doing all the tactical stuff and Backwoods is doing his intel stuff, then your ass is out getting more supplies. By that I mean, if you've got 50 people in your mag and you guys have decided to form a mag, then I'm a big proponent of having central supplies, because you may end up having to retreat to the central location. So if everybody in the mags is kicking up, $50 to $100 every couple of weeks for supply runs to build an additional cache at your headquarters, that's a good thing to do.
Yeah,
because that's in a situation where you're stuck and you can't get back to your place.
That's actually what I was actually gonna say the same thing. And everybody's kicking in. If your family's got a garden and you raise a lot of food, and say you can 100 jars of vegetables and you decide 20 of those jars, 20 of those canned vegetables can go to that. You know, everybody's chipping in. That's great. But, you know, if they say, oh, well, whatever you've got prepped up at the house, you need to bring all that here. Yeah, no, because
You don't
what if
bring
something goes
anything.
wrong, you can't get there?
You
Now
pitch
you
in
have nothing.
for night supply. You know, a
Yeah,
supply that's for everybody.
right. Having, like you said, you know, a main, you know, everybody's supposed to meet up here. Well, if everybody can't get there, everybody should have stuff at the house as well. And like what you guys were saying as well, everybody, you know, if you got a mag, yeah, somebody should be in charge. Not necessarily, maybe they have good managerial skills, but not great prepping survival skills. They know how to utilize everybody in different areas. Like you were saying, okay, Ghost, you got military training, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be on tactical. Um, Prepper steading, you can gather shit really well. You're going to be my resource guy. I need you to gather stuff. I'll give you lists when we need things. You go find it.
What's up, Art?
And, you know, Backwoods, you're going to keep us apprised of what's going on around us. Keep your ears and eyes open. But everybody.
Demeter Solus, it says you got 2 rabbits today. Meat rabbits, or did you go hunting? Yeah, I got tired of waiting on Prepper steading, so I went out and had to meet some meat rabbits.
Shit, man, the last ones that we had, she ate the damn things. That's the only thing we can think of. Now we got 8 babies at the house, but we lost one of our rabbits. I don't know what the hell happened to the damn thing. But shit, my two of my breeder sows have died. Dogs killed one of our goats. I swear to God, my farm hates us.
Gardner Josh, real quick, that post I just posted. I'm gonna start a new email because I don't really want to use much the one that's my personal email, and I'm trying to. I'm gonna start a new email and then attach that to my about section so that people can email me, you know, stuff. That was, yeah, okay. Call it Gardner. Yeah, it's that whole mag thing, man. It's one of them deals, you know, where, you know, there's just a lot of red flags you need to really watch out for, you know, and some of the stuff we were talking about tonight is a part of it, you know. Like I said, you get a guy on there that freaks out over a flat tire, you know, that's somebody you probably don't want around you, you know, in a mag, because, you know, when stuff really starts going bad, he's really going to freak out.
Especially if bullets start whizzing by his head.
Right.
They go shit a brick.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you know, so
I lived in Michigan, and I used to run around Detroit back in my younger, stupider days. And I've been shot at, and you're right. A bullet going past you does make a very distinct sound.
boy,
Kind of got that almost to it.
Yeah, it makes you have a new appreciation for, you know, putting your head down. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it'll add some pucker power to the other end as well.
Yeah, well, the one thing that them guys, what it was is, I don't know if they were shooting at me, or because I was fishing at a pond. I don't know if they were shooting at me or if they were shooting, you know, for target practice. But the bullets, I had about 4. It ended up, it was like 4 of them was like zoom, 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 you know. And let me tell you something. I hit the deck, belly flopped, you know, and crawled to my truck. And this is when I was a lot younger, and I would carry my pistol around with me, but I didn't always have it on my side, you know. And
Right.
well, I belly crawled to my truck real quick, and them guys, whichever they were doing, target practicing or whatever, they learned real quick that I shot back, because I shot back a lot. You know what I'm saying? I come around that truck and I was because
So we got a good question here from Prepper 101. Prepper 101 writes, at Ghost Prepper, what do you guys do with your families when shift happens and you're in a mag? Take them with you. My family is my mag. So yeah, but I don't plan on. I'm in a defensive posture. And that's the way I plan on staying. But yeah,
Cherokee!
Hey, give me just a second.
Yeah.
Give me just a second. My old lady text me.
Hey,
My old lady text me. She's going to bed. I'll be right back.
Go give Mama a kiss.
Yeah, but Prepper 101 and apparently what you're talking about is, say you guys are in the same area or neighborhood and you're going to go out and run patrols. I mean, I guess that's doable. You should do that. If bugging out, you take your family. Hell yeah. My mag is my family, so I mean that's easy. For me, it is anyway.
When they have a mag, that they have to, unless they're all single people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just common sense there.
I ain't joining nothing my family ain't welcome at.
The way I look at it, if I was going to get in a mag, which I doubt it, but I'm one of them guys. I look at the person and I actually go by their eyes and how they talk, and I'll know exactly if they are automatically workers or just somebody out there that's going to be out to steal. You know, we got to look at them eyes. That's the first thing I always look at. That's why I went on his. That's why I jumped on him the first time he come out. Ghost Prepper, is because of his eyes, and he made sense, but yet it was that worker's attitude.
Yeah, he ain't gonna tell you about nothing he ain't willing to do himself.
Plus, I mean, the good thing, I mean, obviously, most of us in the community, we like your wife. We wouldn't really care if she came or not, because she's like the only cool one in the family. You're an ass. She's not.
What?
Yeah, everybody likes it. You just face it. It is what it is.
What the hell? Well, at least since she's already been accepted, that means I get to come along too. Y'all just got to tolerate me until I get shot.
Yeah, your baggage.
Preferably not by friendly fire.
I think you pretty good enough to steal some vehicles for me. Prepper City.
Me?
Yeah. I bet you can swap a car real quick.
I mean, what on earth would ever give you that damn idea?
You driving that truck?
I mean, just because I can pretty much drive or operate just about anything with wheels or tracks.
Good evening, Christ is the answer tonight.
Have y'all seen anything in the news that made any sense today?
What?
I said, did any of y'all see anything in the news that made any sense today?
Fuck no.
No, I don't watch the news.
Stupid shit.
Lily on the bay, what's happening? Yes.
I'm gonna try this challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, have you seen that challenge that he put out, Prepper Steady?
Which one?
Only a knife.
What's that?
Bush camp with only a knife.
Who put that one out? Ghost?
Hutch?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Well, like I'm gonna do any damn challenge Hutch does. I saw what Hutch grows. He's probably bombed out of his damn mind doing that shit.
Yeah, but think about it.
I'll probably cut myself. Come out the woods like, hey, I need a medic and a search party. Well, search party for my thumb. I can't find it.
I told my wife what I was planning on doing, and by golly, she looked like go to hell. And funny looking eyes, I was like, oh, I just fucked up. Should have said that. Should have snuck on out.
I'll be right back. Y'all hold it down.
Okay, brother. Where you at right?
Your wife probably handed you a knife and said, "Here, knock yourself out. I'll be here at the house watching TV."
No, it's more like, hey, I'm gonna find something to give you so you can't do that damn thing. She's trying to make me do it.
What the hell are you smoking over there, dude? You need to quit hitting on that thing.
I think Hutch replaced my cigarettes with some of his shit.
Yeah, today only I did had to go to a Laotian funeral, and since that person already passed like 3 or 4 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
because of the bullshit we're going through, even the monks was agreeing with me. When it come down, they think I was going to have to wear that mask. Even the monk watched me. I said, I ain't going because I got that mask. I ain't wearing a mask. I'll sit in this car. The monk even agreed with me to put that mask. It's just, it ain't worth it.
It ain't gonna stop shit. Those masks are not designed or woven to stop a virus that's 0.024 microns.
Yeah.
Like they're smaller. That ain't gonna stop shit. All they're designed to do is stop your spittle from coming away from your face. That's it. And the only damn time I wear one is when I'm at our yard or I go somewhere and they pretty much, I have to do it for my job. That's the only time I wear it. If I go into a restaurant or a business, oh, no mask, no service, fuck you. I'll take my money elsewhere then.
My wife thought I was going to that damn shield also. I was like, hell no. I'm going to be like that monk over there. He ain't wearing one. I ain't wearing one.
Against my
Okay,
religion.
Lily on the Bayou. Ghost, we got some new game cameras. Sends pics right to the phone. That is an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Question.
Those are
Does
real
it,
nice.
obviously they're game cameras. They're battery, your phone battery. So that's a grid down security type deal there. That could come in really, really handy.
Yeah, hey, Ghost. I've even seen some that have the little box that holds the camera on the top of it at a slight angle. Has a little solar panel, so it just
Yeah.
stays charged up. Those are pretty slick. I wouldn't mind getting a couple for out at my property.
Yeah,
Keep an eye on what them little kids of mine are doing.
She did what would Ghost do, and that was one of my deals was, game cameras that are battery operated that you can operate in a grid down scenario, so you can still watch your property.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got some really cool ones. My buddy that I worked with, he had some, and the thing we were parked in his company truck, and I was in my company truck there, and we parked, and we was just sitting shooting a bull, and he got an alert on his phone, and he's looking at it, he's like, man, check this out. So we got these new game cams, and they had it set up to where when it got tripped, it come on, and he could sit there and watch live what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
On the phone. It was cool as hell, man. I was like, hell yeah. I need
they got something that'll do that with video.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know, he paid like $400 or $500 for this one because you got to buy like a cell phone service for it and all this shit. And I was like, well, never mind.
Yeah, for some of those, it's like $20 a month for the cell phone because it's like its own line. Like going to Verizon and having a tablet on there, it's $20 for the line. And somebody I know, and I can't remember who the hell it was, but they've got them out on their hunting property. They lease property to hunt on. And he said, man, they got, because there's him and a bunch of other guys, and they all chipped in to buy them. They got like 20 of them. And
I'll tell you something.
all that shit.
I want to tell you something that was really weird. So last night, me and the old lady was sitting there. We're watching Curse of Oak Island. That's one of our shows we like to watch. So we're sitting there hanging out watching. All of a sudden, I heard this, like boom, and like it shook the house. Like you could feel it. It was a huge explosion. And I'm like, what the hell, you know, and paused it, you know, we went outside, man, I'm looking all around, nothing, you know. So I thought, well, because we got an Air Force base probably hour and a half away crow flies from us, maybe 2 hours from us. And we've been hearing a super increase in jets flying back and forth and watching them, you know, do their little war game things. So we just kind of, it's like, it's probably sonic boom, you know. We've heard them before here. And, well, so no big deal. We finished watching the show, whatever, yada, yada. She goes to bed. I come out here, get online in a chat. I think it was natives. And Ark Wildman's on there. And Ark Wildman said, "Did you hear that explosion earlier or that earthquake earlier?" And I was like, "You heard that too?" Because he's like, you know, hour and a half from me, at least.
You didn't know they made noise?
He heard it too. Now he's an hour and a half the opposite way of the Air Force Base. Okay, so he's an hour and a half further away, and he heard it. So I'm like, wow, that was crazy. You know, I guess it might have been an earthquake. You know, so no big deal. You know, moving on. So I kind of popped on and was kind of watching a little, you know, just lurking on Dangerous Freedom's channel, right? Just hanging out. Lake Ferry is on there, and she goes, man, like a couple of hours ago, we heard this big, huge explosion that shook the house. That's up in the Adirondacks. And it was about the same time.
How far is that from you?
Shit, that's up above New York. I'm in Arkansas.
Okay. I didn't know
Well, I know they
where
had,
Lake Ferry was at.
I know it was meteors or comets or asteroids or whatever that came in the atmosphere and exploded down in Florida. It lit up the whole night sky. People thought it was World War II. Did you see that, Steady?
No, I didn't see that one.
Last week on a
When was
video on
this?
YouTube. Last week. It was
Well,
an asteroid that nobody knew was coming in, and it shows it blazing in. It's in the middle of the entire sky, like all over mid Florida.
Well, this was last night, man. And Waterwell guy. This was last night, you know, and I didn't really think nothing about it. Even when Arkansas said something about it, I was like, oh wow, you felt that too, you know, because you know when you have a earthquake, you can hear a lot of times you can hear a boom, you know, and so you know, but when Lake Ferry started talking about it, and it happened around the same time that it happened here,
That's
and
weird.
she said her neighbor felt it and stuff and came outside and was wanting to know what that explosion was.
Now, you do know that they've been doing that test for supersonic jets using lasers to heat up the air. And when they hit that damn sonic boom, that sucker goes 3 times faster than what it's supposed to be. If they did two planes like that, they can go anywhere they want at 10 times faster.
Okay,
than be.
I understand that because we've heard sonic booms here. I mean, it's
But I'm
rather
talking about
freaking
a
crazy.
house.
But I'm talking about an explosion that rocked the house and everything here at the same time that it happened in the Adirondacks up there in above New York City.
Mhm.
Damn.
They showed
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Somebody else in the chat said that's weird. About the same time, I heard the same thing, and I live in Ohio. So they heard the same thing. An explosion.
yeah, all you had to do is recheck your earthquake warning devices. We in North Carolina, we had one in Statesville. Nobody ever heard it, but I knew about it before everybody did because I was looking at the computer and I was going like, well, I heard a big bang, but that was it. But then I asked a friend about something. He turned around and told me, no, they've been doing some testing make them jets go about 100 times faster than what they're supposed to be, and you hear them things explode, and it'll go across the whole area. That sound will travel and shake every damn thing. But it's like a big bang. It's like a nuclear bomb going off.
Well, all I know is it was heard in Ohio, it was heard in the Adirondacks, and it was heard here in Arkansas.
That sounds like a pyramid. Think about it.
And this was last night?
Yep.
Well, what the hell didn't I hear? I was parked in Tennessee last night.
Probably because
the northeast corner of Tennessee.
Probably because you had stuffed your mouth and belly full of them damn long hot dogs that you eat, them old nasty things, and you was all full and you was laid over there asleep, slobbering and shit. Slobber was coming out your mouth. It probably shook the slobber off your mouth and you didn't even know it.
Fuck you. You're an
Yeah,
asshole.
that might be it.
I got nothing. I got nothing on that one. That's all I got right there. That's it.
I understand. I get that way too, man. It's like somebody cussed me and I'm like, dang, I ain't got nothing. Fuck you then.
Yeah, that's right. But, man, you know what? That was good. That was funny.
You kind of get quiet. You get quiet and you go, damn, that was really good.
Damn, he just handed me my ass.
And then you change the subject real quick.
Yeah.
God damn it. Okay. I'll get back next time.
You gotta be hard with something, big guy.
No, I was up in northeastern Tennessee corner, just below Kentucky, New Tazewell.
You should have.
I'll be honest though, man. I parked, was talking to JW for a little bit on his live, and I got off of there, man, and I laid down, put some TV on, and I don't think I made 5 minutes into the show, and I was gone.
Appalachian Prepper. It was
You leave for?
It was yesterday evening around 8:40, somewhere in there, Central Time. Which Tennessee's still on Central Time. Yeah, so it was around 8:40.
Why'd you leave that area, Purple Steady?
I was still driving then. What's that, brother?
I said, why did you leave that channel?
Why did I leave what channel?
Did you just say JW?
I was over on JW's last night.
Yeah, and then you said you got off. I was going like, why'd you just get off for?
Well, because I was done.
Think about it. When did you get
You only get so many strokes before I get off. I'm fast.
God dang.
I'm in. I'm out. Gotta go.
Ghost went from a serious damn conversation about mag groups, like some really good info and shit, to 3 strokes and getting off and shit. What the hell, man?
What?
Yeah, it did kind of go sideways pretty quick.
He started it. And you're the one that's talking hot dogs and shit up there. You and your little.
Am I breaking up?
Yeah,
Am I breaking up?
A little bit.
We hadn't really noticed because we hadn't been paying attention to you much anyway. So
It's hard for you to notice. Whenever you're on the panel, you're the only one talking. Take it over.
I know. Hey man, did you forget I'm married? I don't get a word in edgewise when it comes to a conversation with the wife. I gotta come on here and get my talk on. But, honey, sweetheart, baby,
You like me? I like it when she gives you wait till the last split second and you already hooked on something. She just walks up to you. Oh, you got to go somewhere. You just started the damn thing, and he's like, "Shit, I gotta go somewhere."
you know what my wife is infamous for? You ever have like you're riding, got the radio on, and a song that you really like but you rarely get to hear comes on the radio, so you turn it up, not seconds before you try talking to her, she ignores you. She's on her phone. Honey, you want to talk about anything? No, not really. Oh, okay. Turn the volume. Oh, baby, did you know? Nope, didn't. Shut up. Leave me alone. My song's on. Don't want to talk.
Have
It
you, had,
was
have you had her do this to you? Sit there and you got one song you hadn't heard in a long time that you really like, and you just got it on there, and she decides to turn the channel or turn it off.
Nope.
it was last night, Appalachian 420.
We've been having earthquakes lately around here. The last time we had a good one was 1930, but lately we started picking up on earthquakes in North Carolina. I had to go check the fault lines. I'm going, man, they up there in the damn mountains. While we're feeling down here in Asheville, Asheboro, and also over in Statesville, down there towards Charlotte, I'm like, shit.
Damn. And you know, it's funny because you think of earthquakes and stuff, and I mean, I'll be honest. When I think of earthquakes, I'm thinking like West Coast.
Yeah.
Because that's usually where like you hear about it. Japan, um, you know, up and down the west coast of the United States. You don't hear about them that much over on
Howdy.
the East Coast.
How's it going?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. I was
Good.
trying to
Y'all let me.
I was trying to get a word in edgewise, but these two sound like women over here. Wives, you know.
Hey, this guy cut me off at the grocery store today. You know how men can be real. Not all men. Probably not y'all. These young bucks, these ponytail boys. He
Mm-hmm.
come in and he cut me off. I said, "Ladies first." He didn't like it. Now
That's funny.
some men will, oh, thank you. You know, men anymore ain't the same. But that feller didn't like it. Anyway, I was just gonna jump on here real quick, Backwoods, and tell you that I just checked all my radars that I watch, and I don't see nothing official showing up
Hmm.
for
That's
last night
crazy.
at that time.
I mean, it shook the whole house. You know, I mean, my kid came from downstairs, and the other one came from the game room out there, and was like, "What was that?" You know, and I mean, it shook the whole damn house.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything here, but
That's crazy.
it is crazy.
Appalachia, you ever use a global incident map?
The global incident. Oh yeah, the event map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it. I've used several things. Yeah.
I'll be looking at Israel and talking to people over in Israel that's kin to me. And then I hear somebody else say something. I go start doing them checking real quick, you know what I'm saying? And then I go over to global incident and I don't see it neither. But everybody else is saying one thing. I just said, fine, I just unsubscribed that person. He just messed me up on that. Go for
Yeah.
it.
Israel popped off today. Was it Syria went after Israel? I mean, they're always doing something over there.
No, they sent a jet to hit something, and then it backfired, and the Iran shot at it, and it missed the whole jet. It hit close, but they already knew it wasn't a attack. And the person made
That's what me and Ghost was talking about backstage before we went live. You know, it was like, hell, I mean, that's not no breaking news. Israel, I bet if you looked up how many missiles or how many times Israel gets hit by rockets or their Iron Dome has to protect themselves, sure, that happens all the time, man. That's not breaking news.
Right.
That's a weekly event.
Yeah, that's like anybody that's going around talking about that right now, making a big deal out of it, that's just fear porn, man.
That's the main reason why I unsubscribed about that.
There's nothing going on there, man. I mean, it's like, geez, I mean, hell, it was like 2 weeks ago I was watching them. They got hit by or got some missile shot or something, or I don't know. Go ahead, Prepper Steady.
No, you're fine, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. Not that I'm not enjoying myself. I'd love to say to you guys cut it out for the night, but I actually need to get my ass to bed and actually get up and do some work tomorrow.
You've been eating a bunch of them little hot links, and your ass has got to go take a poop and go to bed now, don't you?
Oh no, the toilet's right there, man. I sit on the toilet with you like that.
He's got to go.
I love,
I gotta go to work.
I love you, Standing. You know I'm just giving you a hard time, brother.
All right, brother.
Go ahead.
Shit.
Yeah, there you go.
He said,
So it wouldn't be no fun. I think you didn't like me if you didn't pick on me.
Right.
But see, this is how real men act. We talk shit about each other, and we laugh about it, and we have fun.
That's
We don't
right.
get hurt and cry about it.
yep. It's all ladies.
That's right. But go. Great seeing you again, man. Glad to see everything's taking off for you, brother. It's awesome. Backwoods. I don't know why the hell you changed your damn name, but I'll get used to it. I'll live with it.
No, it's going to be Marine for me from now on because that's what it is. It's what it is.
Well, I'm thinking about making mine the prepping idiot.
I'm thinking about calling myself Mr. Catfish.
There you go.
I think you ought to be Prepper Hot Links.
Prepper hot links. Got a hot link for yours right there.
Oh my God.
Right there.
You better stop.
Prepper stick.
Somebody out there have a foot fetish, they'll be after you.
Hey,
Hey, I never a stalker. I ain't never had one. I want to see what it's like.
hey, Prepper Steady. You got to watch Dangerous Fruit. Copying you. Glasses, walking around, and he's got his hairstyle looking just like you almost.
Okay. That's okay. I stole it from my brother. I copied him.
Just
My
put
wife thought I did.
it on and you'll see what I'm saying.
So I let her try it. Starting to feel like a different Barbie doll. Shit. That's some bullshit. All right, fellas. Ladies, ma'am.
Hey, big brother.
We'll see you, brother. Be
Cherokee,
safe, man. Be
Backwoods,
safe.
Ghost, always. I do my best. Appalachian Prep. Great meeting you, sweetie. Have a beautiful night.
Be safe, and let me give you one word of advice before you leave. If you'll take a Wally World sack or a Dollar General sack, because I know you shop there because of them hot links you eat, if you'll take one of them and lay your head on it, all that slobber coming out won't get your pillow wet. No, don't do it like that, man. You might choke.
Oh, see, I do everything wrong, man.
Hey, love you, brother, man. Be safe, okay?
I love y'all too, man. Y'all be
All right.
good. And don't do nothing what I wouldn't do. Night,
See you
y'all.
later.
See you, buddy.
Now, Cherokee, where are you located?
I'm right in the middle between Concord and Kannapolis.
I couldn't hear that. I'm sorry. You're
Concord, North Carolina.
Yeah, you're echoing really bad.
You got an echo, Cherokee.
I shouldn't.
You got a good one.
I think it may have been where he had his hands up. I don't know. I hate to come on here. Look at this. Sorry about that. I
We
didn't
don't-
figure y'all care.
Hey, we don't care. We just love that you're here.
Aw.
Well, what you think about the mags?
Aw.
You seen one where you had Appalachian?
My mag is
Got a lot of them.
like Ghost family for now. You know, things go south. We'll see what happens, who comes in, what they have to offer, whether they get freedom seeds or seeds to plant. You know what I mean?
Right?
You know, me, I'm stuck in my area. I don't have none of them, so I ain't gonna have to worry about it except my wife. Everybody else.
Yeah. You know, it's one of them things, man, where you I don't have the the family personnel that would be good in a mag too far away, they're not gonna. It's not gonna be a good situation. You know.
Yeah.
That's just the sad truth. There's a lot of folks that just ain't made for it, and we just gotta wrap our mind around that everybody ain't gonna make it. And it's sad, but we can't save everybody.
That's
Oh,
right.
Don't even know that we'll save ourselves. We're just trying.
Right on.
Oh, Appalachia, which area you're at?
What area? I'm on the plateau. I guess West Appalachia, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
did y'all seen my video I posted yesterday about meeting my neighbor?
Yeah, that was cool.
You heard that story, Backwoods, Cherokee?
I
The other day?
I didn't get to see it yet because dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Last 2 days, I'm way behind on videos, man. I've been kind of doing some other stuff, but
Well, a couple days ago, I went to get rabbits. Before I went to get them that morning, I went down to Tractor Supply and got me a roll of fencing T-rails to put up a little temporary fence around cages. And as I'm walking into the backyard, my neighbor's pulled up in his truck, and I throw this 100-foot roll of fencing on my shoulder, and I start walking to the backyard and look over, and he's got the same damn thing, 100 chicken wire. Walking, and we're between the house, 4 feet apart from each other. He's a nice guy. He's the one I told everybody I had a feeling he was an all right cat. You can just when you meet somebody. I look at him, he looks at me, and I said, "What are you building?" He said, "What are you building?" I said, "Well, I asked you first." And he said, "Well, I'm building a coop, raise my own chickens and grow money because I'm tired of the way shit looks in the world today." He said, "What are you building?" I said, "Well, I'm building raise my own meat rabbits, because I'm getting tired of the world." Having a little short conversation, and I said, I'm going to pick up my meat rabbits today. And I looked at him, and I said, "I'm getting 3, a buck and 2 does." I said, "So what you're telling me is that I need to get a buck and 3 does." And he laughed, and he said, "Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I was just going to get 6 chickens, but I think I'm going to get 8. I said, "Yeah, that's probably a good idea." So we know we're going to barter meat for chicken eggs, you know what I mean? And then he got to talking about his wife's garden and how they're putting food together. And I'm still feeling him out, but he's got to.
Well, you heard what Albert is. He's already said he's going to be a hoarder. And I'm going like, go ahead. My neighbor, he's from New York, and he's going to try to rob everybody in the neighborhood in Jackson Park. I'm going like, you're stupid.
If you're planning to survive the end of the world, you're a fucking dead man. Day one. Right. Try that shit on this street.
Well, what's funny? In the center of direction.
After the balloon goes up, if you turn down my street and I recognize your car, you're getting free air conditioning. I'm gonna hook that car up and take care of your windows, the whole 9 yards. There's no reason to go down my street, dead end street. If you don't live on it, don't come down.
I mean, there are people. I've been in the prepping community on YouTube since 2008, and I have met people that literally, if y'all don't know, they literally watch, and their whole prepping plan is to go after people that do prep. I'm like, you're gonna die.
That's true.
But they really are out there.
I had an old boy. When I first really got into prepping, there's still an echo. When I really first got into prepping, that's bad. I know my YouTube's off. When I really first got into prepping, I was trying to talk to some buddies about it, some people I was working with and stuff, and one of them guys, he just kept saying, "Oh, nothing's gonna happen, and then turned around after listening to us for a while, and I guess he started really looking into stuff. He, I think it's on you, Appalachian, that the echo. Have you got your YouTube? Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it quit there.
I muted it.
Right.
but I don't
Yeah.
have anything open. You can still hear it. It's echoing.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like perfect timing. I'm at an hour and 50 minutes, and I was told by several people trying to go over 2 hours on a live stream because it messes with your watch hours. Like it doesn't count after that. So we drop off here and you go live, and we can all pop over.
I'm going to head out. I just wanted to let y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'll see y'all later. I just wanted to come in and tell him that. We'll see you later. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Appalachian. I appreciate seeing you.
Thank you. Y'all too.
All right.
All right. Good night. You want to go hot backwoods? We'll just switch over to your channel, get you some watch hours too.
I can.
Yeah, because I've been told by everybody. I was told by a whole bunch of people, like big names, to try not to go longer than 2 hours, because after 2 hours, you're wasting your time. You don't get logged for any watch hours, no matter how many people jump on.
See, I was told just the opposite, but I mean, that's, yeah, I was told just the opposite.
I was told to keep your videos that you post no longer than 15 or so minutes, and like if you go live, to try to keep it to 2 hours or under. I've even had a couple of live streams that I've been on, when they hit 2 hours, they drop off and they come right on again.
Well, see, now I've had people tell me to keep your videos at 10 minutes or less. You can do once in a while, do a 15-minute video, but keep them 10 minutes or less, and then live stream as much as possible.
Yeah. Well, hell, let's get you some watch hours. I've hogged up 2 hours. We'll switch over to your channel. Yeah. Everybody in the chat, thank you for popping in here. I appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind helping me out with the watch hours, if you go on my page and go to playlist, I made a master playlist, and it's got every single one of my videos in it. Just click play and go to sleep. Just let it run, and let me get some watch hours going on. And if you have a question for me, what will Ghost do? Please email it to me. What you got?
Angela, I'm not a mod here, so you have to, Emily L can post my link to my channel if she don't care. And that's where we'll be hanging out.
Well, I'm gonna go also, because it's about bedtime anyway. But
you look like you need to go to bed. You're old.
Hell, you look like you are asleep.
I'm 56 years old. I still kick your ass. Hey, you got me fishing though.
Thanks, Emily.
What I was gonna say is, when I get time, like if she gets that jab tomorrow, that second one, or retirement, I might try to get up with Ghost or you and see if I can go live one time. Because every time I try, everybody else will be boom, 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 and I'm going like, fine, I'll just stay just like this.
Let me just put it to you like this, Cherokee, okay? Buddy, not to be rude, you know what I'm saying, to anyone else out there, but here's what I've learned. If you wait to go live for everybody else to go live, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you don't want to step on those toes, you're never going to go live, man. I mean, it's sad, really, man, because I'm like that too. I don't want to step on nobody's toes, man, at all. But god dang, dude, I went out and I was like, well, you know, I was going to make this big show, man. I'm going to do a Sunday right around noon, you know, and nobody was going live at that time, man. I was like, I'm going to do this Sunday show, man, around noon, 1 o'clock, you know, kind of catch people coming home from church, Sundays, a lot of people just hang out and stuff, and we'll just sit back and we'll just talk about fishing and hunting and some prepping and, chickens, I had a chicken that had some food stuck in its gullet, and how to massage it out and, add more gravel to their, to their feed, when that, things like that, important, well, then Hutch started going live, and I was like, well, okay, cool. I don't want to step on his toes, and I'll go over there and hang out with Hutch because I love Hutch, he's a cool dude. And, and then I was like, well, I'll start doing it later in the afternoon. Well, then Gray Man started going live on Sunday afternoons, and I'm like, well, shit, and then then you got all these people going live every night, and it's like, well, crap, when am I supposed to go live, so, and I talked to a pretty good sized channel, and talked to them about it. And I'm gonna tell you what they told me. They was like, dude, if you wait on everybody else, you're never gonna go live, man. You're just gonna have to. Is there more than one news station? You know, when you turn on your TV, is there more than one TV station? You know, you just have to do it. You know. And
Yeah,
I
if they
mean,
want to watch it, they can always catch the replay.
right, exactly.
Well, I'll let y'all go then. But y'all see what I was doing. I said, what I'm going to do is when I do mine, I'm going to try to have about 10 questions for each person.
Right.
And after that, we'll just be ourselves.
All right.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later, brothers. Y'all have a good night.
Man, thank you.
See ya, Cherokee.
So what, you still want to go live for a while? Switch over to your channel, see if you can get you some hours up.
Sure, man. I don't care. Like I said, I'm gonna be up for at least a couple more hours. That's just me, man. I'm just.
Might as well get you some watch hours. Let's switch over to your side then.
All right, man. Sounds good.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom and grab me a real quick bite to eat. I'll meet you over there.
All right, brother.
All right.
We'll
Good
see
night,
you
y'all.
later.
Thanks for everything. I appreciate it. Thank you, Angela Case. Thank you, Emily, for modding. I appreciate it much. We will see you guys over at Backwoods and Prepping's live stream. See y'all later. Bye.
All right. See ya.